seeking you out?
Yeah, all the time. In fact, Dave is in a rock group, and they had an appearance Saturday, and I went down there with them. And there must have been 10 people come up and talk to me and to Dave while this was going on about that story, that everybody wants to go out and see it. They want more information. They're watching what you're putting out. And, we advise them to listen tonight.
And, Bob, what about for you?
Well, the only thing that's different is that the owner of the property where my boat is moored had me move the boat to an inaccessible place.
Really?
Yes.
So that you don't have to deal with well-wishers or tourists or people who wish you ill.
Well, actually, I don't really believe it has anything to do with that, sir. I believe it's just because they're rebuilding the docks.
Okay. Well, our for the benefit of the audience, we all went out on the boat, on your boat, and tried to find the spot. And we got it sort of narrowed down to a general area, but it's going to take a heck of an effort, isn't it, to find the exact impact point?
Well, I think yes, Frank. I think it is. It's pretty rugged territory out there. And, I've had several people wanting us to take them out to that area, or four-wheel drive, a Jeep club are all interested in it. And we're getting calls all the time about it.
Maybe you should start a tour business.
Well, what we did is set up a website to keep our lines here at this radio station clear because, we need it for other things. Anybody that's interested in talking to anybody involved in it, we can make contact with you if you want to give that website.
Go ahead. What is it? It's
Needles Crash Site at live.com.
Okay. Bob, how has your life changed? I mean, is it, I know the UFO hunters came looking for you, right?
Yes, and Bill Burns and the gentleman that were with him, his crew, they're very, very pleasant people, very thorough, very decent. We went out, we tried to locate pretty much the general area where I believe the crash site is located. You have to keep in mind, George, this was 3 o'clock in the morning, and the river kind of tends to look a lot like the whole river, especially when it's dark. But I have pretty much narrowed it down to about a 4 square mile area.
Right. And it's some tough territory, salt cedar. And I'll tell you what, we're going to take a couple of calls. Are you okay for that?
Certainly.
All right. Going to go to our international line, Billy in Toronto. How you doing, Billy?
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
What's your question?
The question that I have is for your guests. This UFO that they're describing, it sounds like it could be a possibility of a downed military satellite, possibly Chinese. From the description that your guest gave, Bob, the riverboat Bob, it was a round cylinder size shape, size of a oil tanker. Do you think it might have been a satellite crashing down?
Well, we've discussed that. You guys can go ahead and take a stab at it, but yeah, we've discussed that as being a pretty likely possibility, a satellite or a UAV or something like that. Wow. Any thoughts there, Frank, Bob?
Yeah, Bob's phone went dead. You're going to have to recontact him.
Okay.
What I saw, it looked at, he talked about the tank shape, and I saw the shape. It appeared to be maybe 6 times longer than it was wide, and rounded on the front end. Which is similar to his description.
Yeah, the fact, Billy, your question, the fact that the military helicopters were there so quickly suggests that they were involved in this operation, whatever it was, or had been tracking it and were nearby. We had obtained some information from a scanner device that we detected a transponder for a military helicopter, an Army helicopter that was in that area at that exact time. So, yeah, a satellite, a UAV, that's a distinct possibility. We're going to go to east of the Rockies. Glenn in Texas. How you doing, Glenn? Hello?
Hello.
How you doing? What's your question?
Thank you. I'm doing just fine, Mr. Knapp. I didn't realize the object had such volume. It opens up a whole can of worms. My initial question was if it maneuvered any coming in, but something that size is incredible. It could have been a parachute.
I don't know. Is Bob back with us?
Yeah, he's on.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Bob, did you see a parachute or anything like that?
I did not see anything like a parachute. The only thing that I noticed, and I only had a brief just a brief few seconds to view this thing before it impacted. But as much as I've ran it over and over in my mind, I could have swore it was slowing down. No parachute was visible in any way, shape, or form. But something that was that large and was coming that fast and just thumped or, didn't even bounce, barely bounced. No parachute, nothing. It was almost like it was slowing down.
When it hit, you heard a thump. Did you see any kind of debris fly off the thing?
It was hard to tell about. I didn't see any of that. What I saw was sand and dust being blown up from the rotor wash of the little choppers.
Right. Because I know when we went out on your boat, the boat, even on the top, it's below the level of where this thing would have hit.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for the call there, Glenn. We're going to go west of the Rockies. George in Utah. How you doing, George?
I'm doing good tonight, guys. How you doing?
Okay. What's on your mind?
Well, I've like I told your call screener, I've had the experience of actually working with the Men in Black, and I can tell you that the capabilities of those delivery trailers is something you don't want to mess with.
You mean these OST guys?
Yeah, the vehicle that I know is actually called an SST. They call it a safe, secure transport, and it does have defensive measures to keep someone from getting that weapon.
Yeah, I was very impressed by these guys myself, but it sounds like from the descriptions of Frank and other witnesses that maybe those OST guys that I encountered are not the ones who were spying on the radio station and everything. But thank you for your call there, George. Other thoughts, Bob, on what happened? Do you think you're ever going to know what this thing was?
Well, I sure hope so, George. I'd sure like to know. I'm just glad there are other people coming forward that are other witnesses, so we can cooperate and, maybe get to the bottom of it. Honestly speaking, I have a good feeling that it's okay. Whatever it is, it's okay.
And Frank, where does the investigation go from here? You're using your cop instincts to chase down a lot of leads. What other leads do you need to follow up on?
Well, there's people still coming forward, and new bits of information. And, you and I and your cameraman went out there and walked the ground in the area. It's pretty tough stuff. And, I still think we need to explore that, or your listeners can do that and contact us. And I'm sure that you'd give them the time if they found something.
Well, we posted our stories at the website of the TV station where I work, LasVegasNow.com. People can watch it, and we've got a GPS coordinates there if people want to start a search. But I'll tell you, it'd take an army of people to go out there and look around. And even if there was something that fell off that thing that Bob saw, you could have had an army of people who went in there and already cleaned it up, and no one would have ever been able to see them. You could have wouldn't you agree, Bob? You could have a whole bunch of people out there and no one would see them?
Not only do I agree, but there at the restaurant there where I park my boat, we have witnesses. The waitress that was working there, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, she happened to be working there. She knows about this story. She came to me and told me that one of her customers happened to mention, she was part of the cleanup crew.
Really?
Well, I haven't heard about that.
Did she say what it was she was cleaning up?
Yeah, the crash site.
What would say what the object was that crashed?
Nope, didn't say anything about that. They just mentioned that they were out there assigned to clean up the crash site.
And
the
since
whole crew came in and had lunch in the restaurant and went back out.
Since these two people showed up on your boat with the bright blue eyes, any other strange characters hanging around?
Well, that'd be kind of hard to tell where I live.
Okay. Isn't it odd, Frank Costigan, that there's, the night before the UFO Hunters TV show is supposed to come there and talk to Bob, there's a big fire, and it burns right up to the edge of the Topak Marina where Bob had his boat.
It is, to the point that he had to evacuate his boat from the area. But, there was, on some of these websites, people, a little bit concerned. They're trying to stop any further investigation, not knowing where the actual crash site is. To me, it's very suspicious that a fire breaks out and burns for a week, and a firefighter dies, and it's right there at the same place, but it's just happened to be on the wrong side of the river.
Yeah, if someone was trying to destroy the trail of evidence or confuse it or hide it, that might be something they'd try, but they tried the wrong spot.
That's true.
Okay.